All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave back again here talking about real music in real time for some real people out there just like you and just like me. So confirmed, the Van Halen talks were real. Jason Newsted apparently spilled the beans prematurely. Joe Satriani, who in a video I actually said needs to confirm this rumor so we can believe it, because I didn't really believe this. I just thought it was way out there. But yeah, according to this article from a very reputable place, sometimes I like this particular website and sometimes I don't. Just going to be honest. When they talk about politics, I can't stand it. But when they talk music, it's okay. So Joe Satriani confirms he's been talking with Alex Van Halen and David Lee Roth for about a year regarding a new Van Halen tour. Now, it says new Van Halen, and then down below, it says that this would be an all-star Van Halen tribute project. So I'm not sure if it's going to be called Van Halen or Van Halen Tribute. Either way, this is pretty close to a Van Halen reunion with Joe Satriani and possibly Jason Newsted on bass. But according to Newsted, he said it just fizzled. And then I started talking about Michael Anthony and Sammy Hagar. And apparently, according to the hardcore Van Halen fans that were messaging me after this story broke, they're like, dude, you don't understand. These guys can't stand Sammy and Michael. Alex can't stand them, and these guys. But I'm just gonna, at the expense of the late great Eddie Van Halen, apparently there was just a rift that is never going to be repaired. Apparently, that's the way it looks. Everybody says you got to read Sammy's book, and I have never read his book, so I might need to, get a copy of that so I can get a better perspective on how bad he tore into them. But it was a lot worse, I guess, than I could have ever imagined. I mean, it was said to us that Sammy and Ed made amends at the end and that they were talking. And so you would think that, hey, putting that behind us. See, I don't understand why these musicians can't put stuff behind and just move forward, but they don't seem to be able to do that in this case. And, I mean, look at Creedence Clearwater Revival, right? I mean, you think those guys could kind of fix it after all this time, but still, they're still not together. So anyway, the 65-year-old guitarist, that would be Satriani, addressed the rumor just days after former Metallica bassist Jason Newsted revealed to the Palm Beach Post that he was approached by Alex Van Halen about 6 months ago, wanting him to play bass in this new project. Newsted told the Florida newspaper that he agreed to go to California to jam with Alex and Joe and see if it felt right, but he eventually realized that it would be impossible to do justice to Van Halen's legacy. So Satriani, though, says it's very complicated. And all I can say about it is that if it does happen, I know we'll make it the greatest thing ever for the fans, and we'll all celebrate together, not only the great Eddie Van Halen, but the legacy that that band created, the amazing amount of music and the goodwill and good vibes they created as a band. Satriani said that he was surprised to learn, now this is interesting, that Jason had revealed the project's existence before everything was finalized and an official announcement was made. So apparently Newsted spilled the beans prematurely. And, once I do a couple of videos, I don't get the kind of viewership that other sites get. So it's kind of interesting, but I ran with the story and then I did a follow-up. And the follow-up was, hey, I don't know if I believe this. I think we're going to get in the video. You can go back and watch. I said, I think we need to get verification from Joe Satriani. And here we are. So somebody watched the video. These things are always happening in the music industry, according to Satriani. And get this, and you're supposed to keep very quiet about it. And then he laughs about it because sometimes they don't work out. There's usually about 10 crazy ideas that float around, and musicians are always like, okay, I won't say anything about this because it may not work out. I don't want to hurt this person's feelings or disrupt any other business plans. Apparently, Jason Newsted really didn't care. So yeah, we were all pretty shocked that Jason wanted to go public with it because we were all sworn to silence. Wow. Again, Van Halen always playing things close to the vest. Satriani also talked about what it has been like to be in regular contact with Alex while putting together all the pieces for a possible Van Halen tour. And here they are calling it a Van. Look, they're going to call this Van Halen. They'd be stupid not to call it Van Halen. He goes on to say, I have to say that just getting to know Alex has been really wonderful. He's a great human being. And obviously, I can't imagine losing a brother that way. And they were really close. Their relationship was really quite unique. As for Roth, the guitarist said, I don't know Dave that well. I think I've only met him once. Maybe when Steve Vai invited us to see the David Lee Roth tour. I was in Australia with Mick Jagger at the time. So we all went. It was quite an experience. But yeah, I've only spoken to Dave on the phone a number of times over the last, 25 years or so. But he's David Lee Roth. They're Van Halen. It's a big deal. Like I said before, if it ever does happen, it will be a great honor and a terrifying challenge, said Satriani. Eddie, you can't reproduce what he did. You can't. You can learn the notes and you can be taught all the fingerings and get the gear and everything. But there was only one Eddie, and he was the epitome of an original genius. But if it does happen, I know that Alex will make sure that it's the right way to do it. Satriani went on to compare the experience of playing Van Halen songs to the challenge of performing in the band Chickenfoot, in which he is joined by former Van Halen singer Sammy Hagar and ex-Van Halen bassist Michael Anthony, as well as Chad Smith on drums. Okay, so that's the bulk of this article. They go on to talk more about Chickenfoot and how that might be a similar experience to playing in this new revamped version of Van Halen. So if Newsted, who spilled the beans, isn't going to be the bass player, obviously, now that he's in even more trouble for spilling the beans prematurely, right? So he's not in. So again, this is, to me, even though I know this rift is because of Sammy Hagar's book, and everybody says to me, hey, this is something that can't be repaired. Because look, they would rather take Dave, who can't really sing anymore, over Sammy, who can really sing. By the way, they might want to call Mitch Malloy. Just a little advice. They might want to bring in Mitch Malloy, but then we get further and further away from that original Van Halen setup. I'm just thinking, do you really want to pay tribute to Eddie with Dave not being all that great on vocals anymore? And I'm being charitable. I mean, Sammy can at least still sing. And whatever happened to the whole kitchen sink tour where they were going to have Sammy and Dave be there? I think that would be a great way to pay tribute to the legacy of Eddie Van Halen. And yeah, sure, call up Gary Cherone if you want to. He can get up there and sing one or two songs. I'm just thinking to myself, this is really like pushing a grudge to the limit, though. I mean, Michael Anthony didn't write the book. I mean, you could at least bring him back on bass, since Newsted said no. You could have 3 of the 4 original guys there, right? Seriously, you could. You could have Dave, Alex, and Michael. And you put Joe on guitar. And I think that would be a fitting way to pay tribute to Eddie Van Halen, unless Eddie told everybody at the end, hey, don't ever bring Michael Anthony back into I just seriously this is just bizarre. And of course, this will be unfolding now that the cat is literally out of the bag. What kind of money are they going to get for this too? The revenue stream off of a Van Halen tribute or reunion or whatever you want to call it is going to be off the hook. And I'm sure everybody is going to be organizing behind the scenes now that Satriani has gone public. I'm sure somebody told him at this point, you might as well just tell everybody because it's out there. And maybe it's going to be delayed for a lot longer because they're going to need to find a bass player. To me, this is just crazy. This is just really crazy. They've got Alex, obviously. They've got Michael, who can be in this band, who said he would come back. And they've got Sammy, who I don't think should be on the sidelines completely. I mean, if you're going to give all of the vocals to Dave and make this about just the Dave era, I don't know if that pays tribute to Eddie all that well, because Eddie wrote some great riffs while he was with Sammy. And no question that I think you have to do the entire catalog from start to finish. But anyway, folks, as the Van Halen turns, right? I mean, this is bizarre. I thought this was actually done. A year had gone by, 2 years, I think now, something like that. I don't even know, because Eddie was talked about for like a full year after his passing. So it's been a long time, and you would have thought to yourself that they would have organized something by the following year. And yeah, I know we have the thing-demic and all that garbage, but these guys should have been planning and plotting. And then everybody's out on the road this summer. Could have been one of the biggest summer tours on the planet. And I would have probably tried to get a ticket for this because, you know, it's going to be, Joe Satriani is no slouch. All right. So I've seen him in Chickenfoot, and he put on just an amazing show with the rest of the band, of course, including Sammy and Michael, Chad Smith. But it's just, like I say, the only comment I have really about this is it's frustrating that you've got these guys who are still alive, who are in the band, and you're not going to bring them back for a tribute to Eddie Van Halen. To me, that just sounds wrong. All right, people, that's my video. I'm done. Yeah, I know Sammy really kind of just burned a bridge, I guess. But man, oh man, to take it out this much on Michael Anthony, I don't think Michael deserves that. And we'll keep you updated on this, because I'm sure there's going to be more stuff that leaks out eventually. And I'll be here to cover it. All right, people. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell for notifications on new videos and Patreon. Always looking for new patrons for $1 a month, $2 a month. Until next time, I will see you then.